Will I have superhero powers? No? Okay. Not fair. Alright, if I could have another 24 hours, like after my life had ended and I've come back to Earth, whoo, what would I do? I think I would actually spend it doing the things I love with the people I love the most. That's what I would do. Because it's interesting because there's a lady, I used to do some coaching with a lady, and she said there's people say spare time, free time, wasted time. She said, in her opinion, time is just time. And what you might see as a waste of time is valuable for me. So for you, waste of time might be, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and look out the window. And somebody else might think, oh, you're sitting there doing that for a whole hour, you could be doing this, this, this. But for me, that hour might be my hour of peace where it calms me and I need that so I can face the other 23 hours. So I guess it's all relative. So yeah, I'll definitely spend it with people I love. Dancing.
That's deep. If I could come back for 24 hours, what would I change or what would I do?
What do you do?
What would I do?
It's a hard question to answer. How would I... The last day, that would depend if I was kind of fully functional, I suppose.
Watching my children, best friends, friends, my husband next to me looking handsome. No pressure there, but he always is.
If I could eat some nice food, and I would definitely give instructions to my family and spend time with them and make sure that I've spoken to them, make final words and directions and things, final thing that I wanted to say. Maybe if I, the children, that they were young, and I want to tell them what, give them confidence for themselves and try and pass some of the key lessons I've learned in life to them.
I'd spend more time with people, I think. I don't know, there's so many things I could do. I can't change my history, I won't change anything that's happened to me. Everything that happened to me led me to where I am. So I'm not going to change that. But I think there are, for example, last year, 2 people died who had promised I was going to come and see them. And I never got to see them. One of them, I told him I was going to see him the next week. And before I got to see him, it passed away. The other one, he was at the hospice. And they said, he's there. I said I was going to come and see him. I was going to see him. Pass. And a week later, the guy died. And I think those are the little things. You think you have time to do stuff, but you don't. It's not yours. So I think if I could change anything, maybe if I could come off 24 hours, I'd spend time with people. My dad, my dad is in Nigeria. I've not seen him for 20-something years. I'd spend time with him. I spend time with the people I love, I think. We don't do that enough, I don't think.
Enjoying some very amazing music, like some classical, the uplifting, and seeing some nice scenery out of my window or out of my backyard, I don't know, somewhere very nice. Or even looking at the sunset or sunrise, it doesn't matter, just enjoy the view.
There's a mother with an empty slate. They say her house is full to the brim. Carnation, invasion. Now she's sick of the smell.
When does time go slowly?
The slow times are like dragging.
When I'm waiting for something.
Yeah, when you're waiting for something to emerge, it just feels like time just stretches. Or when something is painful or horrible, it feels like it goes on forever, when in reality it could be a short time. It feels like it's just doing this.
I'm pretty impatient. So when I'm waiting for something to happen, because of my business, sometimes I have to write things out to people and get contracts in. I think time does slow down because I'm an impatient person. I like things to happen quickly. So when I'm waiting for something, time goes slow. When it goes fast, I guess it's when I'm having fun.
It goes fast when you're having fun. Interestingly, I'm going to go off on a story, so you know you'll have to edit this because I'm going to talk.
Growing up, I wanted to be a dancer. So I went through primary, secondary. I used to dance for my school in Nigeria. So I used to represent my school at dancing competitions.
I was talking to a lady today at work, and she was saying, oh, she went dancing on the weekend because it was her friend's wedding, something or the other. They're not married yet. It's an engagement party, I guess. And she was saying that she danced, and they were doing like 1940s theme dancing. I'm like,
Time flies too quickly. And so when I'm at a party or we're doing something or I'm really busy and it's going so well, it's just like time's gone so quickly.
I think it goes quickly when you're watching your children grow.
The first big time in my life was when I moved from London to Newcastle when I was about 8 years old.
I remember the first thing that I want to make a decision what I really want from life. So the first thing I thought about is, well, if I have happiness in life, nothing else matters. So since then, I look for what sort of happiness I like. What is happiness? And the happiness that I was seeking then was, it has to be everlasting and it has to be the true happiness. So since I made that moment, I think I was probably about 9 or 10 or something like that. I can feel that I was a lot happier.
When I went to university, that was a big change, becoming independent, or learning to be, taking responsibility for myself more.
You may not know my background very well, but I was born in Myanmar, and a lot of things happened then, a lot of political situations, so my parents asked me to go abroad.
Moving to England was a big moment for me. It was a bit of a culture shock because England is nothing like my home country. I suppose, yeah, that was a big change.
When I was 20, that was the best time that I have in my life.
Turning 30 was quite traumatic for me. I think going through, because I was going through my 20s, wasn't that bad. I was having a great time, so it wasn't a problem. I think when I turned 30, there was a realization that there were so many things I wanted by age 30 and I'd not achieved half of them. So I was quite depressed on my 30th birthday, mainly because everything I wanted to do just didn't happen.
Marriage, big change. You're living with a stranger all of a sudden, just like, I used to like you, I'm not sure if I like you now.
Choosing husband. I grew up in a broken family, so I wanted to make sure that my family will have a happy family. In order for me to have a happy family, I need a husband that loves to be in a family and love to have a family. So I decided that I'm just going to find one true man that was just for me, nobody else. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to be rich, handsome, or amazing. But I did find somebody amazing, and he was just for me. So, and From then on, everything else is a bonus in my life, and those little turning points.
Children, oh my gosh, children, just a whole, nobody prepares you for having a child. Everybody says, read this book, watch this film, and then you have this child and you think, right, what do I do with it?
Over time, having my children, so having my son Joel was a big period as well, because that's my coming into the world, and I think so having the boys was a massive transition.
Botanical nihilist with a dandelion in his hand makes a wish on the nursery floor.
Then I think having my grandchild, realizing how I now have a second generation, that is a shocker as well. So that's another, I'm beginning to take that role on as a glamper. Those are the transition periods for me that I can remember.
But for people in general, change, I guess, it depends on the individual, isn't it? It depends on what kind of personality you are. Different things will affect different people in different ways. So
Things that I learned through those, like some more personal, like how selfish or how reckless I've been in my past. Making lots of kind of mistakes, or I guess rushing into things. It was one of my things which I made mistakes on, which I've now think that reflecting more, taking your time to consider things is better and has worked better for me.
I think one of the life lessons I've learned, and it's interesting, I was talking to somebody about this yesterday, is not wasting time on little things. Like, people get stressed out about tiny things, and what works for me is 6 months from now, is this going to be a big deal? A year from now, am I even going to remember somebody, I don't know, blocking me off on the road in the car park, or I don't know. It could be anything. It's like a year from now, is it really going to make a difference? Probably not. There'll be new things. There'll be bigger things coming up. So that's probably one of the major things that I hold dear right now. I don't stress out about the small stuff.
I think trusting God is probably one of my biggest, because it's easy to we live in our society where everybody says rely on yourself. You can do it. It's all about you, number one. And then we can fall into that it's all about me. And I think just really realizing that there's so many things that are bigger than me. My life is bigger than me. My future is bigger than me. And just having to learn to not just in word trust in God, but in reality actually trust Him, and trust that there are things I will never understand and things I will never know, and situations I will walk into and think I'm prepared for when actually I'm not. So that was for me probably, and still is, an ongoing big life lesson.
I have lots of regrets, so I guess some of the things I mentioned before was not sure really. Yeah, I guess there's some of the things anyway.
It's different periods in time. So I actually struggle with procrastination. I do. And it's one of these things where over years you struggle, then you get it back, and then you do it again. And I'm currently reading a book by called The 5-Second Rule. And the advice the book is giving me right now is to, when something's gonna happen and I feel like procrastinating, count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get up and do it. Before I get to 1, get up and do it.
You know, parents, my mother used to always go on about this thing, and I used to just think this woman is driving me crazy. She used to always say to me, it's your eyes that makes things look difficult. So when I was being lazy or when I was being, like I have chores. And she'd always say, it's dialect, because I wouldn't tell you what the dialect is because you won't be able to understand anything on that screen there, camera. But she used to always say, it's your eyes that make things look difficult. Meaning that when you look at something, it seems like it's really hard, but you just need to get started. Once you get started, you have to finish it. Or you may not finish it, but you started. That's the hardest part, isn't it? Other good advice I've been given is to love people where they are. Just basically meaning sometimes we want to love people with all limitations. So I love you if you. I love you when you. I'd love you if you hadn't. But just to love people where they are. Just, give your love freely without any expectation of anything and just see where it goes. So those are things that I tend to keep playing over in my mind a lot.
Dear younger one, to my 20-year-old.
Dear younger me.
That's a tough question. What would I tell a younger me?
Be fearless. I would definitely say that. Be fearless. That doesn't mean be stupid or be reckless, but to be fearless. And I suppose to move on from that, to finish the sentence is, try it. Try it, get it wrong, because at least you're trying to do something else, something different. So, fearless.
It's better to have a focus, like a goal or a plan to work towards, so that you can continue to work towards that and not be kind of lazy or, kind of get sidetracked.
Gratefulness is really good. That is healing, in a lot of troubles time. And just, learn from yesterday and, just prepare for tomorrow.
Just do it. I think I held back from doing a lot of things that I could have done, but fear and other things probably stopped me from doing them. So I would go with just do it. Life's too short. And that's exactly what I'll say to a younger me. Just do it and not be fearful.